Hello! You are likely watching this video because you have recently got your Healy. So congratulations! We're super excited for you to get familiar with your device. And I will say this is that you and your Healy are going to have to court each other, as this is going to be a little bit of a beginning phase friendship, if you will. There are oftentimes, a few little hiccups that happen as you're getting to know your Healy. It may feel like, why are there these glitches, or why isn't this working, or what is happening? I want you to know that is actually completely normal. We're not just dealing with something as easy as a key fob unlocking our car door, and we're using certain frequencies that are super simple and streamlined. We have a device that holds up to 10.2 million frequencies. We are working with our information field, our bioenergetic field. We are working with our body matter. We're working with our human body. We're working with our mind, body, and spirit in the information field. We've got all these frequencies in this device that is also communicating with two separate apps on our smartphone. So there might be a little bit of entanglement, there might be a little bit of a learning curve, and as you and your Healy get to know each other, it will become a lot easier to quickly troubleshoot some of these things that might be popping up at the beginning stages of your relationship with your Healy. So don't allow it to discourage you, as it is actually quite normal for it to take a little bit of time for you to get to know your Healy and some of the ins and the outs and some of the super simple troubleshooting things that you can do. So I want to share a few of those things with you now, and the reason I'm making this video is because it happened to me when I started, and I just remember being like, I just wanted to throw my device into the ocean, and I wanted it to just be like, forget it, this is just too complicated. And I figured as I got to have a little bit more of a relationship with my Healy and learn some of the simple things, that there's likely other people out there that might be going through the same type of beginning stages of the relationship hiccups. So here we go. Here's a few of my tips and tricks that you can do. The first one is super easy. It can be a hard reset on the device. So this is the only button on your Healy, and if you hold it down and press it for 15 to 20 seconds, it'll actually reset the whole device, and sometimes that's all that needs to happen for it to work, okay? Other things that you might want to know is when you're running a program, okay, so here's a program that's running right here, you can easily turn the Bluetooth off right inside the program. So once the program, this is the pink app, so the program has already been transmitted to the Healy, and I know that because my little green light is flashing on my Healy, which means the program is running. And I can easily go to the top right hand corner here, I can click that little icon that looks like a battery, and I can choose to turn off the Bluetooth for this program. And now I can go and use my phone, I can wear the Healy and walk away from my phone. It does not need the Bluetooth in order to work. It only needs the Bluetooth to actually transfer the program to the Healy, and then you can turn your Bluetooth off. So a few other things, and what you need to know though is once the Bluetooth is off, you can't actually adjust the frequency level anymore, and you can't see the frequencies as they're being administered unless you turn the Bluetooth back on. Okay, so super simple thing to know there. Another thing that I want you to know is that you want to be able to close out the programs. So if I have the blue app open because I've just done a resonance scan and the blue app is running, if I just exit that and open up my pink app, both programs are now running in the background of my phone, and they can get very glitchy if both of them are operating. So if you have an iPhone, what we do on the iPhone, right, is so if the program is open like this, so I exit out of it and then I go to the bottom of my phone, I swipe up, and then I find the program that's running in the background and I clear it. Now that app is actually no longer running in the background, and I can go ahead and open the pink app, and it shouldn't be glitchy anymore. So if you're getting glitchiness, it's probably because both the pink and blue app are simultaneously running. One might be running and one's running in the background of your phone. So actually exit completely out of the app, like swipe it up if you're on the iPhone, okay? Another thing that you might want to know on a simple, this one I know can be a little bit annoying, but delete both the pink and blue app. If you really are having problems and the Healy isn't working, delete both of the apps from your phone and reinstall the apps completely. Sometimes the update won't happen automatically and there's been some bugs fixed and then your app doesn't have the newest version. So delete the apps completely, reinstall them. Yes, you will have to re-add the serial number into the app because you're signing up almost as a new user to the app again. I know it can take 5 minutes, but that should also clear out some of the glitches. Another thing that might be the issue is just that your battery is dead and you need to give it a full recharge, and possibly maybe the charge didn't take the last time you charged it, or the wire could have been off. So many things can happen, right? But give it a full recharge, make sure that it's fully charged before you're using it. Another thing that I want you to know is the difference between the coil and the cords, the microcurrent, and how you want to use your percentage of the frequencies being administered between the difference of whether you're using the coil or the cords, okay? So what I just want you to know here is that with the coil, okay, so the coil is what makes it wireless. This is like the Tesla technology. So we're using magnetic, we're using like the two magnets in order for this we're using what's called scalar waves, basically. So here we're using the scalar waves as the frequency delivery system here in the coil. So the scalar waves or the coil, really, this is what's interacting with your bioenergetic field. So more the mind, the body, the soul, right? What we don't see. That's what the scalar waves are delivering the frequencies through. Your cords, on the other hand, so if you're setting up your cord, you're putting your lead here, your cord, you're snapping it in right here, and then you're putting this on your wrists, you're attaching it onto your wrists. And I always put the cord right here on the inside of my wrists when I attach it. This is delivering the microcurrent therapy, okay? So the cords is actually delivering more of the charge, the electrical charge. And what's happening here is this is delivering the microcurrent through the cords into your body. Your body's water system is taking it through the body using the meridian lines from head to toe, and it's actually communicating directly with your cells. It's giving your cells a little bit of a charge, and the cell receptors are taking in this frequency and the information from this frequency, and it's actually telling your cells how to act and behave. So it's a little bit different than the scalar waves, which is communicating with your information field. The actual cords and the microcurrent therapy is actually communicating directly with your cells. It's being delivered through the system, through your body's water transport system, which is another reason why you really want to stay hydrated, so you have enough water that it's easily able to flow through your system. So when it comes to how much you want to use the frequencies here, okay, as the scalar waves, you're pretty much okay to go to 100% because you're using the scalar waves in the information field. With the actual leads, you're going to feel a tingle or a little bit of a shock when it goes up too high. For me, I have to pretty much only go to 50%, maybe 55%, and then I start feeling the little bit of the tingle. You don't want to feel the tingle, because what happens is your body then is responding and going, what is this tingle? And then it goes into fight or flight. Your cells start reacting like, is this a good tingle, a bad tingle? And they kind of go on the defense. So you don't want your cells to go into a chaos mode when it starts feeling the tingle. You actually want this to be a completely kind of under the radar administration of the frequency. So when you start to feel the tingle, back off the percentage so that you're not actually feeling it. So consciously you're not drawing your awareness to the fact that there is something actually happening inside your body, so the frequencies can go do their job. So a few things that I just wanted to note there, okay? So in terms of your apps, don't have the two apps operating at the same time. Make sure you close out the blue app before opening the pink one to deliver the program. Turn off your Bluetooth on the pink app, mine as well. And just in terms of how to run your frequencies, do a hard reset if you need to on the device. That also helps. Deleting the apps completely from your phone and reinstalling them is another thing. Can't show you here, but there's a spot that you can go into for update, and you can just update the pink app. So it's possible that there is an update that's just needed inside the app itself. and you can just do a quick little update on the app, and that could also be one of the things that could solve your problems. So when in doubt, do some troubleshooting. It's probably, I don't want to say this to be any type of gaslighting, but it's probably user error. Most of the time it's not the actual device itself. And go back to remembering that we are working with so much energy between the device, between the apps, between your smartphone, between the quantum sensor, between the information field, between all of this. Like, we're dealing with so much more energy and frequencies than a normal, a remote control sending a signal to the television, right? So it can be a little bit of a learning curve and a learning process, but there's a whole lot of troubleshooting that we can do to get things to start working again. One more thing that I do want to add to this video before we close out is the difference between using the Blue app and the Pink app. The Blue app, the only time you'll be delivering frequencies through the Blue app is using the vibrate button. So you'll notice that there's a vibrate button after you've done a scan. It'll say actions, and you can actually send vibrations into the information field of whatever client you chose when you did the scan. The vibrate will give you different times and seconds that you can run the vibrates, or different hertz. So basically that's just like the measurement to the frequency. And the vibrate, you have to keep the Blue app open. You cannot use your phone when you're administering a vibrate. Now the vibrate, really, you could do 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and that's perfect for a person. The time you would use some of the bigger vibrates, like the 20 minutes or 50 minutes, is if you're actually sending energy frequencies to a building or a place or something really large like that. So the time you're using vibrate is typically when you are sending distance frequencies, because the person's not actually there and is not wearing the device, is not wearing the healy. So we're not actually putting the frequencies into their current information field using the quantum sensor. We're actually just sending vibrations of those frequencies directly into the information field from a distance. That's the time you would use the Blue app, and the Blue app has to remain open when you're running a vibrate. When you're using the Pink app, you can use your phone. Transfer, the Pink app is actually just to transfer the collection of frequencies for that specific program. It's transferring it to the device. Once it's been transferred, you can turn your Bluetooth off, you can play with your phone. The phone has nothing to do with the healy once the program's been transferred. So with the Pink app, once the program is transferred, you can go ahead and start using your phone, because the phone's not needed after that. It's already done the transfer, it's done its work. So the Blue app, you cannot touch your phone when the Blue app vibrate is running. The Pink app, you can use your phone after the program's been transferred.